It is time for a new ban list for Master Duel, and we're going to be playing with this new ban list in a $1,000 tournament qualifier this Sunday on twitch.tv/Dcade. Now, this ban list will be accompanying the New Year anniversary, which last year, if you forgot, Diablo Star alongside Snake Eye came out, and the year before then, Sprite came out. So what am I alluding to here? That this New Year anniversary with the ban list should be big as it's been for the past 2 years. Now, boom. As we're into the ban list, February 6th is when the big New Year anniversary should be. Also, I didn't know this, that the new player campaign, it fell off. It stopped working. So I would assume that with the New Year anniversary, they're also going to add a brand new player campaign. So do expect that a brand new deck will be fully obtainable for free just by sharing your code with other people. And what do you all suggest maybe what that deck should be? Last year it being Sword Soul. What is a good new player-friendly deck? You can let me know in the comments as we now hop in this ban list. Cards to be unlimited. Morphing Jar from 1 to 3. Back in my day, this card was used to cheat. They would hand you their deck, and then when you went to shuffle it, if you were properly counting their deck as you should, doing a pile shuffle, you would count that they have 39 cards in their deck because the Morphing Jar, which was limited to 1, was on their lap. If they opened up this card in the very first turn, which is what they were cheating to do, they would pretty much win the duel, almost guaranteed, because you'd be able to flip this face up but after setting it, even on the very first turn, and then you'd flip it back down, back up, back down, back up, and then you deck out completely as you have to discard your hand, and both players draw 5 cards. And as they are discarding your hand and making you draw, they're also drawing even more fuel to continually flip the Morphing Jar up and down. So you can see, oh, there we go. We can see right here, Legend Anthology. We have AD Changer. When in the graveyard, banish it to flip the Morphing Jar face up, and then you get that discard plus draw 5. Book of Taiyu. Flip your face down Morphing Jar back up, and then you have the Excavation to add the Book of Taiyu back to the hand. You also have Feather of Phoenix. Put the Book of Taiyu on top of your deck and then draw it. With this card now fully unlimited, what is going to go on here? This is such a toxic strategy, which may actually become a viable way to play the game at the higher ranks. I could not even imagine that. What is going on? All right, I don't even want to think about it. Let's keep on going. What else we have? Cards to be unlimited. Cyber Jar from 0 to 3. On flip, destroy all monsters on the field. Then both players reveal the top 5 of their deck. Special summon all revealed level 4 or lower monsters, and then add the remaining cards. Now, this effect was absolutely nuts back in my day when I played maybe 20 freaking years ago. But this, in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh!, this is nothing. If we go on over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta, you'll see by going on the card here, it's got no data whatsoever. Side deck, main deck, nothing. And if you look at what it looks like when a card does have data, Ash Blossom, used overall, using a bunch of decks, side deck, no side deck, it is everywhere. So it's going to be the first place in Master Duel being fully unbanned, though. Will we maybe be teching this in a Morphing Jar? If Morphing Jar is to be a viable deck, it has to have a good turn to play. And I guess the good turn to play would be, instead of setting your Morphing Jar going second, set your Cyber Jar, flip it up with the Book of Taiyu, and then wipe out the entire field. Then set a Morphing Jar off the top of your deck, and then deck out your opponent after. Holy moly. Now that I'm talking about it, this maybe is a deck, Morphing Jar, Cyber Jar deck, to actually be viable. What really sucks that I'm noticing right now, the card is an ultra rare. This is going to be very expensive. Is that the same with, oh wow, Morphing Jar and Cyber Jar, back-to-back ultra rare. You know, if you want to be toxic, I guess you're going to have to pay in your ultra rare CP resource. Okay, let's keep on going. Aluber, what? From 2 to 3, Branded Despia is already a top-tier deck. And now you have this fully unlimited. Branded Opening was recently semi-limited. I joked that the whole deck was essentially becoming a singleton deck, Highlander, which is a format where you could only play 1 copy of each card in your deck, and that's essentially what Branded was doing, and still being a really good deck. Now, What heavily suppressed branded from doing well recently was Tenpai, but after the ban list, Tenpai not doing so well anymore and is no longer as prevalent, which that then allowed branded to become a great deck again. But Konami wants to make them even better with Alibert at 3. And even more so, we just got Dragon Lord. Dragon Lord with the triple negate in the branded deck now. It's a mandatory negate. It also has chain link blocking. So for example, if its defense is at 0 and you activate a branded fusion, the opponent now can't Ash Blossom your branded fusion because the Dragon Lord will be a mandatory activation of being chain linked 2 to your own branded fusion. Double quick effect in a row before your, I should say, is spell speed 1 and then the quick effect on spell speed 2 before your opponent could even respond. That is insane. Now let's keep on going. Bestial Serenity, even more branded support. The main ability here is, besides, of course, banishing a light and dark from either player's graveyard, quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, the main effect is when sent to the graveyard, you get to send a branded spell/trap from your deck to the grave. This would get branded fusion in the grave or a retribution, then add back your branded fusion. That is crazy. This card was limited to 1 because of branded. What is happening here? Branded's about to skyrocket alongside Dragon Lord. All right. What else? Destiny Hero Celestial. From 0 to 3, this card, I believe, in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has the biggest chest. True? Yes. Now, this card I predicted to be banned, and a lot of people looked at me like I was crazy for predicting that, and then it actually happened. I don't know if Konami was taking my recommendation because I thought that it was a bit broken to have the effect of, well, you have no cards in your hand except the turn this is sent there, so on the very next turn after getting this engrave, you banish this card plus the other Destiny Hero to draw 2 cards. This was a pot of greed effect after summoning your DPE. Your DPE also we now have, or we had it with DPE also, Anaconda. So I guess this is now back. Anaconda, 2 effect monsters now get to summon, non-target pop a card in the field. It comes back every single turn, and then get ready with that pot of greed effect right afterward. And I would say the Enforcer is competing with Dragoon. Dragoon is a card that I think is not doing as well as many thought that it would with Anaconda being unbanned. The card is banned in TCG and OCG, so the fact that Dragoon is not really popping off, it's quite the head scratcher. But now Celestial is going to be competing with Dragoon for that spot of what to send with Anaconda. And it makes me think, do I want to maybe play Dragoon and DPE in the same deck? Destiny Fusion, Anaconda it up. Is there any conflictions there or what? Let's keep on going. No. Alibert, Serenir, and branded opening. All fully unlimited. Branded is going to be okay, here's my conspiracy. I think that Brandon's going to be the new player deck. Yeah, this is the only thing that makes sense, right? I think the new player campaign is going to give a branded deck for free, just like it did with Sword Soul last year. This is not a leak. This is just an educated guess, because what are they doing? This is insanity. Branded getting a huge boost when, again, it's already a really good deck. I think I have to maybe come out with a nice little quick short guide on how to play it now with Dragon Lord, yes? Let's keep on going. This is huge. Cards, what? No, wait, Maxx C from 3 to 2? Is the prophecy becoming real? Where's my YouTube video on this? I said, Decade, Maxx C will be banned or something like that. Where is that? This is why Maxx C will be banned. There you go, 6 months ago. And the video is about Fool Loss. So finally, is this the moment? It's just being semi-limited for now, but that's the first step. We take that first step forward. Maxx C now officially semi-freaking limited. That is wild. Oh my goodness, it's actually happening. Now, it is a copy of what already happened in the OCG, so this is not that crazy. It would have been crazier if it got limited to 1 or even banned, But I don't know. That copium is still going to be high on every single upcoming ban list that Maxx C will further be dropping down. And I don't want to click on the official top card rankings. It's going to probably spoil me on some other hits. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's real. It is real. Sangan, no. Tenpai hit even further. Chandra and Sangan Summoning are already limited to 1. We also don't have Terraforming. We don't have Pot of Prosperity to help draw into those cards. It's completely banned. And now Kaiman has been semi-limited. And the TCG, they put Kaiman to 1, Chandra to 1, and Sangan Summoning to 1, which many people, including myself, felt was complete overkill. And Konami Japan's actually thinking, that's a great idea. We're going to further put Kaiman to 2. Now, in Master Duel, we are in a best-of-1 format, and what I'm learning a lot is people immensely hate this deck. It's even spilling over onto the players that play this deck. It's getting really vitriolic, including in my tournaments. So we got to do our best to try to calm players down. And then there's now big accusations of people scouting to try to force Tenpai to go first to, further drop down their performance within a tournament. And actually within our next event, we did do something about that where scouting is now not going to be negatively affecting their very first turn or first duel within a match. But you can find that out within the next tournament. And it is very controversial. People are going nuts. Nightmare Throne. Wait. Nightmare Throne. Yubel. Yubel gets hit alongside Tenpai, and then Branded goes up in power. Wow, this is insanity. What? It's got to be the new player campaign. It's the only way that makes sense. Why are they giving support for Branded right now? Why now? Kaiman, semi-limited. Throne, semi-limited. The deck is still going to be incredible. We'll look at the overall hits and the bigger impact, the bigger picture, and the other cards that are hit towards the end. I don't want to spoil myself. Cards be limited. Anti-spell Fragrance. From 2 to 1. Okay. Now, the main way to use this card is you dump it from the deck to the graveyard, and then you add it to the field through a Griffin. Link 4 Griffin, and there you go. You just essentially search for your anti-spell Fragrance. Now, what's really toxic about this card is the way that pendulum cards work. Pendulums can't set themselves on the field face up. It just does not work. So this just completely shuts down those players, I would say, immensely unfairly on the way that it works that way. Not cool. So any hit to Floodgate, I am absolutely for. Happy to see it. Let's keep on going. Forbidden. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're skipping right to the Forbidden. I see Secret Village of the Spellcasters. What's funny is I just talked about how Dragoon is pretty much a letdown, but Dragoon being used with Secret Village is actually a quite toxic strategy, and shame on anyone who is promoting a strategy like that. I think we're on that dude right now. Where can I find this? Mad Lad, who promoted this? I think I call it, yeah, what is that? What is that? Is that the deck? Yeah? No, that's not the deck. Where does my deck go? Decade new player deck. This is taking a while for me to call myself out. Okay, that was that one. This one, easy new player deck. Here's the deck list. Oops, anti-spell field spell. Just like that, Spellcaster Village, used with Invoker and Dragoon. Guilty as charged. I have no regrets. This is a lot of fun to play. And if you were having a fun, toxic time with this, then I guess that time has now come to an end. Now, if you invested anything, there you go. This is the deck in action. That's right. I'm actually playing. That's wild. I do need to be making more duel videos. The field spell is not an ultra rare, so you don't really get a refund on this. So hopefully none of you really went in on this to the point where now you don't want to play the deck anymore just because the field spell is hit. That's just the risk that you had to take, I guess. Damn, that is wild. I didn't think that the Spellcaster Village was popular enough for them to actually ban it. But again, it is a Floodgate. Anytime a Floodgate is hit, I'm happy about it. Now, I know it's crazy to think, Decade, how could you be promoting a Floodgate and be also anti-Floodgate? I have the mindset and philosophy of always blame the game, not the player. If a Floodgate is good, you better play it. Play it. Of course you want to play it. And there's nothing wrong with playing it. But while playing it, you could still advocate for Konami wanting to ban it and hit it. You could not like that you feel like you have to play it. So yes, while I promote this, I also am very happy that they got hit. Very good on Konami. Now, what else is good? We have Summon Limit from 1 to 0. What toxic decks were abusing this recently? Some stun, yes? True Draco. Oh no, that's my other deck. What the heck, Konami? My back-to-back best new player deck, a best Red Eyes Dragoon deck for new players. Did I have Summon Limit in this deck list? I don't think I did. I think I took it out, right? There's no, oh crap, I was promoting Summon Limit also. Ain't no way. Konami clapped me in one ban list. And I released both videos back to back within the same week. Unfreaking believable, Konami. How could you do this to me? Damn. But again, that's good. Oh, that's the final changes. Okay, I'll zoom out a bit. Wow. Village and Summon Limit both banned, and I'd say deservingly so. And I guess you could see in that video what other floodgates there are. Another one is the lose one turn. I guess, you know, if you're a Draco player, you could be happy that that card wasn't hit. It's not that crazy of a floodgate because it only makes the opponent, as it says in the name of the card, lose one turn on their newly summoned monster. And I am getting a lot of questions from people saying, what, or, you know, at least a few, maybe just one in my chat. All right, let me just say that on asking what's a good new player deck my friend wants to get in the game. And I've been continually recommending True Draco, and I still stand by that. I think that this is the best new player deck to play right now because we're in a bad spot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there isn't a good top tier deck to recommend to players. A lot of them are really old decks. A lot of them are hit. And I guess Branded's now on the up, but, you know, it's probably going to be given to us in a new player campaign, possibly. I can't think of any other deck that they're setting up for that. Let's see. Cards be forbidden. There you go. Limited. Let's see this. Semi-limited to limited to 1. Who is even playing this? Trap Tricks, kind of. Labyrinth. Oh, my goodness. What are you doing? They're just, you know, hoping to hard draw it. Okay. And what else we have here? Cards be semi-limited, Kaiman, and Nightmare Throne. So now we could look at the overall changes of Tenpai. As I said, Chandra, Sengen Summoning, both limited to 1, Kaiman semi-limited, and what's really good is using Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta to see the future of what is going on. So if we look at the last month, wow, I'm actually surprised. Tenpai is still a top 3 deck in the TCG, despite Chandra, Sengen Summoning, and Kaiman being limited to 1? That is crazy. And I stand by what I've been saying, that they could ban Sengen Summoning and the deck would still be a super top tier deck. A lot of people downplay how immensely powerful this deck. It doesn't even need the protection of Sengen Summoning. As you could see, even with it limited to 1, even though they do have terraforming, the deck is still top 3. And the OCG... wow, Tenpai has really fallen, and they have the least hits on the deck. So I guess you could say that Tenpai being very powerful in TCG, also in best of 1 Macedo. The fact that it's best of 1 essentially means that if you're the only Tenpai player on the ladder, you know, besides playing a mirror match, you're going to be almost guaranteed going second every single best of 1 game, giving you that massive advantage. So Konami does have to account for Tenpai's not going second 50% of the time. They're going to be going second maybe, I would say, 70 to 80% of the time. That is definitely something they got to look into, and they did. They agreed that Kaiman should get hit alongside the other cards. Now, Nightmare Throne, let's see what's going on here. We have Yubel. Phantom of Yubel, semi-limited, limited to 1 in both TCG and OCG. So that's something we could definitely expect in the future of hits. Nightmare Throne, now semi-limited. The other card that is something that gets hit is the Gates, the Spirit Gates, semi-limited, where it's unlimited in TCG and OCG. Now, if we look at the future of Nightmare Throne in OCG where it's hit, what happens to the deck? You're going to find out that the deck is actually playing Fiendsmith. We got Lacrima, Crimson Tears, and Graver already limited to 1 here. And in the TCG, it's also played with Fiendsmith. So I would say Konami wants to get ready possibly for Fiendsmith coming to, that's going to be super boosting up Yubel. And let's check out the tier list real quick on Yubel. Control F, Yubel. Yubel is, you know, kind of up there, not so much in the TCG last month. And then let's see the OCG. Yubel, all the way down here. And I do think it is alongside the Fiendsmith hits that have happened in both formats. Now, despite Fiendsmith being hit in both formats, I think Ryzeal is popularly being used with Fiendsmith. Yeah, that is quite wild because I know the OCG has not really been playing this version of the deck. Now, enough of that. Let's go back on over to the Master Duel. And then, yes, Maxx C. Well, what's going to happen is Maxx C no longer good. Of course, it's still good. Let's look real quick, though, on the analytics and the OCG under text. Wow, 99% usage at 2 after it got semi-limited. And I guess a good question would be, is Ash Blossom still going to be a staple? Well, according to the OCG, yes, it is. 98% usage, even with Maxx C semi-limited. Got the Full Loss at 41% usage. Maybe Full Loss and Master Duel is now going to be going up even more in usage. You tell me, are you going to be taking your third Maxx C? Remember, you got to disenchant it as soon as the new ban list comes out, not beforehand. You have to wait. And then you get 30 URCP for free to get your free Full Loss, possibly, or just get whatever new cards are coming out in the brand new anniversary, which should be crazy good. Now, what else is good here? Let's see what the comments are saying. Oh, yeah, and then branded. Of course, I forgot about the Unlimited. I already talked about a jar deck. So if you want to copy a jar deck, we have the Legend Anthology event one. Something like this can be played with Cyber Jar and Morphing Jar. Continually flip up both, wipe up the field, or discard the opponent's entire deck, essentially. And then we have branded. We could just look at the tier list real quick. So this is what the tier list is looking like so far. Tenpai dropped a bit because of the recent ban list hits, but then was starting to climb up a bit. And I do agree that Tenpai is a bit more broken on the ladder because they're much more likely to be able to go second for their first duel. And then let's see what Brandon's looking like. Yeah, they're going to be boosting up that Serenir, much more consistently boosting up the Alibur, of course, and then triple branded opening. This is the deck to look out for. This is it. This is going to be the big deck. I can't believe that they boosted this up when it's already a really good deck. What are the comments here? 2 more ban lists of Maxx C will be gone. We could do this. True. I wasn't expecting anything, but holy, you know what? I'll be honest. I also was not expecting a big ban list, but I think in the context of this aligning with the New Year anniversary, Konami made sure to give us a banger. I think that's what this pretty much was. Maxx C actually getting hit. Never saw the day. Yup, we saw it. Today is the day. And just like that, I'll see you on twitch.tv/Decade for the new $1,000 tournament qualifier with the new ban list. Brandon's going to win it all. Yup, all right. So if you want to see the branded weekly this Sunday, now's the time to learn the deck. Let's go.